Understanding the systems that we live in and how they have conditioned and programmed us, and choosing ways that we can get ourselves out of the patriarchal box. That makes an interesting story to share, especially when you sit with women.
Yes.
And that is where I began. I started by doing things like, I called them peace dialogues. When there was, like in 2008, when we had the post-election violence, I organized a city, the whole of Meru, I organized a peace dialogue because I didn't want our city to be one that chased people who were not Merus. And we agreed that we were going to shelter those people from Western Kenya who were likely to be affected by the problem that we had of ethnicity. And so in organizing that conversation, it was very open-ended because I opened up by saying, what are people's views about what is happening within the country, and what can we do about it? So we were not pointing fingers at other people or waiting for the government to come and save us. We were talking about, we here in Meru, right now in this space, what kind of peace builders do we want to be in relation to this fact that we are all Kenyans before we are tribal, whatever. So those kinds of conversations. So I did a piece, a town hall, a kind of peace dialogue, and then I did one in the village at Kach. And I invited everybody to come. And the question was, what is the most pressing need in our community today? So what I did is that I divided the groups between women and men and youth. And each one of them went and addressed in their view, because men's view, women's view, and youth views are different. So each one of them came with their views about what was the most pressing need in our community at that time. And we listed them all down, and then we picked the common ones. And then the next question was, which one of these issues, by resolving it, will address most of the other issues that we have as problems on this list? And alcoholism was the highest thing, because that is what was killing the cohesion of the families. Wow. And so when we started addressing that, it was like everybody agreed, let us agree not to allow these people to come and sell alcohol in our community here. And we did a memorandum that we took to the district commissioner. We invited him to come to our village, and we took him to the places where we said, we don't want this bar here, we don't want this bar here, this bar is too close to our school, this bar is too close to our homes. And the DC said to the bar owners, come to town, to the city, to Meru town. That is where you're supposed to have these kind of facilities. And I'll give you places where you can run your businesses, but you can't do this next to a school and things like that. So the people themselves are the ones who came up with what they perceived to be their issues and the solution that they figured that they was needed to resolve the one thing that would resolve 100% of the other issues that they were facing. Sure. I'm telling you, we've never had that problem of bars around our area anymore. And then that just built a big respect for Catch and the work that we were doing there, because we used Catch as the community space for people to come and talk about their issues. So we started having women's groups meetings there, youth group meetings there, and like that. And together, that's how we mobilized the community now to trust the work that we were doing and to join us to work together to change our community.